Hello and welcome to another episode of Bare Bones Wargaming, a show with no bells, no whistles, no frills, just a man, a camera, and his game. On this episode, I have decided to do a little special episode because, believe it or not, this Tuesday will be 3 years since I started Bare Bones Wargaming, and a couple hundred, I think like 230 some videos I've done to this point. I've had a lot of fun doing this, and judging by comments and stuff, seems like those of you who have followed along have enjoyed it too. And at this point, I do have 1,240 some subscribers, so I do thank you for that. And hopefully be going for at least a few more years here anyway, as we travel along this journey, so to speak. So hopefully there's some exciting things coming up here. I just saw the Absolute War from Carl Paradis. I hope I'm pronouncing his last name right. That should be coming out later this year. It looks like it's ready to roll. So excited about that. New East Front games. You guys know my other big love besides Pacific Theater is the Eastern Front. Looking forward to that. Conquest and Consequence should be coming out later this year. Hopefully, hold on. That was my wooden table. Mr. President coming out, and toward the end of the year there should be some other new games coming out as well. I've done a Kickstarter pledge. If you don't know this, Malta Besieged went live this morning, so that's on Kickstarter. And also the Tarawa game from Worthington Games is supposed to be coming out later on this year. It looks like in the summer, but I mean, summer's not that far away. Let's face it, we've already reached spring on Saturday. So alright, so for the special 3rd year anniversary, I decided to go like Ozzy Osbourne, off the rails on a crazy train. So I thought I'd take you along with me. So what you see in front of you here, I'm sure some of you recognize one of my favorite games, the Fires of Midway, from Clash of Arms Games, designed by Stephen Cunliffe. This game, of course, light, fun, carrier game. And as you all know, I'm very much into the sandbox what-if kind of stuff. So I got to thinking here, what if we went ahead and set up a scenario here where the Coral Sea Operation MO, goes down, but this time the entire Kido Butai is focused for it, just like the Pearl Harbor strike. Now, of course, I know the possibilities of that are fairly small, but who knows? If the Japanese had thought about it, or Yamamoto had thought about it and been like, dude, you know what? Let's go ahead and concentrate on Port Rosebery first, then we'll go ahead and deal with Midway. So if they had, all 6 of those carriers could have been down there, and they, of course, are here before you. And meeting them, unfortunately, is only the Yorktown and the Lexington. Now, for special rules for this game, I'm going to roll a die at the end of each turn to see if the Enterprise arrives, because once the Doolittle raid was over, the Enterprise was steaming back, hauling dupa, if you will, trying to get back down to Pearl and then possibly on to the South Pacific. So, chances of them showing up in time, of course, would have been very slim, but hey, we'll go ahead and do that. So, a couple of things you might notice here over in this corner. Because there's not enough cards, I'm using blocks, and then when these guys get damaged, I will be using dice to represent the planes whenever they are damaged. Of course, those of you who follow along with me before know with my solo rules, I assign a different colored die to every single carrier, and then I roll all the dice to determine randomly who gets to activate, first, second, third, etc. Which, of course, for solo play makes it very unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen. So I've done the search phase, and amazingly enough, I actually found the Kido Butai, which is kind of crazy to think about. I almost never find all 3 fleets cards, because with the solo rules, you do the search grid, you do 10 cards, and then that's the end of it. Okay. So with those 10 cards, let me just show you the map here very quickly, what we've got going on. So here we have the Kido Butai organized into the 3 carrier divisions. Carrier divisions 1, Kagi and Kaga, 2, Hiryu and Soryu, and then 5, the Zuikaku and Shikoku, arranged here. There are some low clouds, and you notice the first thing I did from starting here is I ducked into the low clouds. because I'm going to need all the help I can get. My best bet at trying to win this thing, quite frankly, is to get some strikes in early and then hope that the enemy carriers that are launching are going to be the ones that are going to need some help, so to speak. This is going to be tricky. I'm going to need some luck. But of course, if this actually had happened, the U.S. Navy would have needed probably like ×2 luck that they had at Midway to pull this off. Okay? All right. Well, with that being said, let's go ahead. Let's roll the dice. Find out who is the first carrier activated. And take it from there. So here we go. Oh, let's see. We've got 2 carriers that rolled 6s. Unfortunately, neither one is a USN carrier. So, got to narrow it down. We'll re-roll these 2 again. And the first carrier to activate is going to be the Zuikaku. So here we go. So we'll give them their action card over here. Okay? Which, of course, the action cards, and for those of you who've never watched any of the videos I've done of this and stuff, I'll talk about the rules briefly, but this is supposed to be a fun video. Depending on what choice you make here, either launching planes or doing a little of both or trying to fix your carrier, it tells you what your choices are here. So, of course, since this is early in the day, the Kido Butai can launch 3 planes, and they're going to roll, baby, roll. So here we go. So, 1-0, 1 Val, 1 Kate. And as Yogi Bear would say, and away we go. Hey, boo-boo. So, we're rolling. They're closing in. So we got to see how many spaces they're going. Now, unfortunately, from the map, they're one of the ones that's super close to us. What the what? So they've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, thanks to the cloud cover, actually, they do have their 4 cards. They got to draw the 4 cards off the deck and look at the gas can symbol on each card and see how many they get. Well, that's no good. That says closing fast. Holy crackers, closing fast again. Are you serious? Another closing fast? This is going to be ugly. 1 gas can. So, that means they had no trouble searching for us and finding us. Alright. So here they come. They found the task force, despite the clouds. And I get to roll for my spotting dice. And I rolled a 1 and a 4, which the 1 is the important part here, because that will allow me to scramble a Wildcat to engage the enemy. So I'll scramble 1 from the Lexington and take on my little miniaturized 0 here. Okay. I will choose a card. Now, of course, I got a boatload of cards to start the game, because in the solo game, you get to draw as many cards as things you discovered there. There's no hand limit at the start of the game. So I actually ended up with 14 cards to start this sucker, which is crazy to think about. Alright, let's see. I haven't even had a chance to take a look and see which cards here we're using. You know what? Since this card came up, and I was just reading about him in my Midway book, I'm going to go ahead and play the Thatch Weave. Okay, good old Jimmy. Alright, now, the Japanese, now of course, in the solo game, the Japanese have all 3 of their decks divided into groups: fighter, bomber attack, and carrier defense. And they're supposed to draw a card every time. What I do is I roll 1 6-sided die, and if they roll 1, which this was a 4, then they don't draw a card. But they did, so let's see what happens here. Alright, here we go. So, the Japanese would normally roll 3 dice. I'll tell you what, let me just get a stand-in Japanese here. 0. There we go. So, normally they would roll 3 dice, but here they're going to get to roll, well, they get 1 extra die from the card from above, but I've got 2 cancellations there. Woohoo! So 4 minus 2 is 2. If you're not familiar with the game, this is basically a die roll test. Best die wins. So their best roll is a 4 right now. Okay, I will get 4 dice to roll. Let's see what I can accomplish with my 4 dice. Hopefully quite a bit. Old Jimmy came through. My best is a 6. Now whoever wins, of course, gets to shoot. The number of dice you roll is based on the number of bullet symbols there are between both your card and the combat card that you play. Well, there's no bullet symbols here. Notice this one has wings. If you haven't played this before, it means only a fighter can use that. This one, of course, has no indication, so anybody can use that one at all. Fighter, bomber, torpedo. All right, so opening up with the guns. Yeah, baby, another 6. Bam. And right away, the USN is rolling. So, hopefully I haven't used up all my luck now. But we blew that 0 out of the sky. Completely. Alrighty. So we'll send that to the watery grave. And of course, every 5 Japanese planes shot down count as VP. Alright, so we've got this Val and we've got this... let me get some... See if I can find some stand-ins here. Again, for them. Here we go. We got a Val. Let me see if I have an extra Kate running around here. Yep, I got an extra Kate from one of the other carriers that was not needed. So I'll have these 3 cards as stand-in cards here. I'll set them off to the side for the purpose of this video. So we got a Val and we got a Kate. And I'm just going to roll a die to figure out who they're going to attack. So the Val is going to, whoops, I hopped out of the dice tower, if you can believe that one. So the Val is going to attack the Enterprise. So here it comes. And then the Kate is going to attack the Yorktown. Alright, so we got one going each direction. Alright, this is going to be rough though on my hands and cards. Hopefully I can dodge some bullets here, so to speak, and I won't need to spend a lot of my Admiral phases drawing cards, but I fear that's probably going to happen at some point. Holy crackers, I didn't get too many defense cards either. Alright, well I better fix that and get some more defense cards. So here we go with the Enterprise. I'll go ahead and play this one for defensive purposes there. Let's see if this Val Squadron is going to come in with a card. Yes, they are. Alright. Now, of course, with the ×2 symbol here, I get to draw 2 cards and add them to my hand, which again, I am going to need. Big time, I'm going to need all these cards here. Alright, I always like to roll for the Japanese first, just to see what I'm dealing with here. So the Japanese have 2 dice on their card, plus 2 dice on their Val. 4 coming in. 3. Ooh, double 5s. Yikes. So that means in order to win this, I need either 3 5s or a single 6 with 4 dice. Come on, Lady Lex. Luck be a lady tonight. Oh, no luck. It's a 5. A single 5 is the best I could do. Alright. So here they come. And they've got 5 bomb symbols to roll. So here we go. Ooh. Now, of course, with dive bombers, you want to go high. Torpedo planes, you want to go low. Now we'll have to see what the cards are. Now, when you attack, you always draw 2 cards. And then whoever won the test gets to choose. So the Japanese Val won the test. They will pick the card that's best for them. And in this particular case, they're both identical. They're both the same. So any 4, 5, or 6 will cause some damage to the Lady Lex. So, let's see how much damage are we looking at here. Well, they rolled a 4, 5, and a 6, and a 3, and a 1. So the 3 and the 1 don't do any good at all. Now, for everyone that has a little fireball there, that's a fire marker, and 2 of those makes an inferno. And the CR, of course, means that the bulkhead gets hit too. So I got to slide that one across. We got 2 fires, which equal an inferno, and 1 inferno all by itself. Whew. So unfortunately, we're kind of lit up like a Roman candle so far. Not good. All right, let's switch over now to the Yorktown and see if the Yorktown has any better luck. I'll try to bring them both into here. Let's see. I wonder if my 2 new cards did me any good. Part of the problem here, though, is a lot of the cards in the deck are actually fighter cards. The vast preponderance of them are, which gives the Japanese a bit of an edge because they have them divided into 3 decks, which is part of the reason why I do the die roll of the 1. So I'll go ahead and try to shoot down the Kates with some rapid fire from my anti-aircraft guns. They are going to use the card themselves. Well, good news and bad news. The good news is there's 2 die bomb symbols on there, which are applied to the Kate. The bad news is they get an extra die. Alright, 3 dice from the Kates coming in with their fish. 5. Single 5 is their best one. Okay, so we have a chance here. We got 4 dice. We have a chance to shoot them down. Yes! Single 6. Woohoo! Roller coaster! Alright. So now I get 3 bullets because rapid fire gave me an extra bullet. So now, of course, keep in mind, even if I do not shoot them down, I will have the opportunity to choose the card that is used for the destruction assessment. Shoot! I rolled 2 2s and a 3. Well, again, good news, bad news. Bad news is they're still coming. Good news is they are smoking like they have stock in R.J. Reynolds. Alright, here we go. Single fish in the water, swinging the Yorktown like crazy. And it's a 5. So I'll have to draw the 2 damage cards, but it won't make any difference at all because torpedo hits, the highest they go is up to a 3. Ah, look at that. This is a waste of a good card. Look at this. Look at those shields. Those all would have been no impact at all. Ah, what a waste of a good defensive card for me. Sugar. Alright. Well, the Japanese will head home, having dealt some bad damage there to the Lady Lex. Okay? So on the way home, cap emergency landing. Nope, don't have to worry about that. This cap's going to be smoking now, though, because they're going to be low on fuel, having been up in the air for a while. Japanese Val will make it home, no matter what. So they will manage to fly back to the Zuikaku and land. The Kate, we have to determine the distance here, which is not very far. It's only a distance of 2. And of course, if they roll a 1 or 2, they will crash before they get home. If they roll a 1, anytime that happens, then you crash land on the deck and set that sucker on fire. Oh, it's a 3. Sugar. So they were able to limp their way home safe and sound, although unsuccessful. So, alright. Okay, Admiral phase. Well, Admiral phase for me, obviously I need to be doing some repair work here. So you get 3 points of repair. So 2, 3 will eliminate one of the Inferno markers. And the Japanese, since the Japanese do not have any damage to worry about yet, because of course it's the first one of the turn here, the Japanese are going to put a cap over top. They'll put a combat air patrol over top of the Kaga, over top of Carrier Division 1. Okay. Alright, let's take our mess of dice here. See who gets action card number 2. Okay, we got 3 carriers that tied this time with 5. So good news, bad news for us is, bad news is neither one of them are USN, which actually is good news because the Lexington is damaged, so they would not have been able to launch anything anyway. Again, it's going to be one of the Japanese carriers. And I got it narrowed down now. It's either going to be the Shikoku or the Soryu. One of those will be. Now, of course, keep in mind that this kind of goes, against the way things would have been done Japanese doctrine-wise. But again, this is a lighter carrier game. So otherwise, when the Zuikaku was launched, the Shikoku would, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the winner of the second activation card, and the winner is the Shikoku. So interesting, Carrier Division 5 is the one that's going to get to roll first. Alright, so they can launch 3 planes. They'll launch just like their sister ship did. They'll go ahead and launch Zero, Val, and Kate up into the air. So we'll get those guys out here. Ready to roll, son, as Chappelle would say. Alright. Now, again, they're not very far away. So 1, 2, 3, because I'm hiding in the clouds, so that's good news. Let's see how many gas cans we get. None. 1, 2. Well, unfortunately, the lowest fuel counter for the Japanese planes is 4s, and the Zeros have 5, so... Oh well, you can't win them all. Alright, let's see if we can spot them at least. There's 3 of them. We need just 1, 2, 3 to spot them. Oh, balls. What a waste of boxcars. Come on, man. Alright, now the question is, do I want to send my smoking cap up to intercept? I think I need to. So here comes my smoking cap, so to speak. Not to be confused with the smoking gun. Let's see if I got a good one that I can use. I need a cancel card here, so to speak. Not to be confused. Okay, we're not going there. Let's try this. Let's try this one here. We'll play this power dive. Let's see if we can nail them. Oh, look at that. The Zero is not using a card. Well, there's a very overconfident pilot, huh? Okay. So, we would have canceled their card, which is unfortunate because they didn't play one. But we do get 2 extra bullets if we manage to win. The problem was we're outnumbered 3-1 in dice. Here comes the Zero. My hero, how wonderful you are. We got a single 4. Okay, I only get 1 die here. Come on, baby. Oh, shoot. It is a 4. Well, that's a good news, bad news. Good news is, usually, a cap wins a tie. But, bad news is, if one of the planes is smoking, which my Wildcat is smoking, they don't win. So if they both had been healthy, so to speak, I would have won that tie. I'd be opening up on them right now. As it is, it's going to take a small miracle with 3 bullets for that Wildcat to survive. And their best is a 5, and unfortunately, I have my first plane splashed from my carrier force. As our English friends would say, bugger, 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 bugger. Alright. Let's see where the Val's going to go. See if they're going to pile on. The Val is going after the Enterprise. The Case is also going after the Enterprise. So obviously, the IJN pilots are looking to deliver a knockout blow here to the big E early on and cripple us down just to 1 carrier. Okay, let's see what I've got for defensive options here. I don't have much. I only got 2. Yikes. Alright, do I think they're going to have a cancellation card here? Well, I'm going to have to take that chance. I'm going to go ahead and play my Destroyer Escorts card against the Val. And the Val is going to play a card. Yes, they are. Alright. God, shoot. You know what? I felt it. I felt it in my bones. It was going to happen. They canceled my card. Which means I lose the 2 extra cards. Alright, here we go. They got 3 dice. The Val Dive Bombers. Their best is a 4. Okay, we have some hope. We have some hope. We have some hope. We got 2 shots here. Like a double-barrel shotgun. Oh! Awesome. We nailed a 6. So we will win the test. Alright, now we got to see if we can get any damage or not on that Val. Get 2 bullets. I'm having trouble tonight with my dice. There's something all over the place. I must be excited about the 3rd year anniversary show too. Or is it Paul Simon perhaps? Slip sliding away. Nice, it's a 6. Little sound effects here for the anniversary show. Kaboom! Bye bye Val. Alright. So I knocked that Val out of the sky. Which is good. That's the 2nd plane taken care of. Alright. Now here comes this pesky Kate now. Of course this is all I need is a torpedo hit after being hit by dive bombers. I only got 1 defense card left. So here we go. And let's see if the Kate's going to play a card. Oh, Kate chose not to play a card. Interesting. Yeah? Yeah. Alright. Whoops. Sorry. Wrong theater. Alright. Here comes the Kate. 2 dice. Uh-oh, it's a 6. Oh, no. Alright, but I get 3 dice. I need boxcars. Like Boxcar Willie. Mule Train. Let's try a magic word. Abra. Holy smoke! That's awesome. Couldn't ask for better on that one. I got 2 boxcars and a 4. So we actually managed to win the test. The Lady Lex. Oh, sorry, I said Big E before. I'm so used to having the Enterprise because that was my favorite U.S. carrier World War II. I meant the Lady Lex. Alright, so Lady Lex. Dealing with the Kate, it's a 1 and a 4. Well, good news, bad news situation. The Kate is now smoking. But they'll still get to drop 1 fish. I get to choose. I think you know which card I'm going to choose. Boom. Alright, here we go. Fish in the water off the starboard bow. And it's a 6. Not even close. Completely missed the carrier. Awesome. Alright. Well, so far, we're living a charmed life. Alright. I don't have any caps to bring down because remember my cap got shot down over the Lady Lex. The 0 will make it home. Back to the Shikoku, so that's not a problem. We got to roll and see what happens to the Kate. And again, they're not going very far. They're only going 2. And they got a 3. Shoot. So they were able to limp their way back to the carrier. Bugger, bugger, bugger. Oh well. Alright, but the good news is we haven't sustained too much damage. And the Big E should be fixed here soon. Okay, oops, I almost forgot. With caps, the Kaga's cap is now smoking because they've been up there for a while. They're tuckered out. Alright, so we took care of all of that. Admiral action. Well, clearly I'm going to finish fixing the Lexington. So there we go. So all the fires are put out on the Lexington. And the Japanese are going to put up another cap because obviously they don't have anything to worry about yet. And the new cap is going over top of the Storyu. So the Storyu will put a cap up as well. Okay. Alright. Well, so far so good. We're hanging in there, amazingly enough. Let's see who gets the next activation here of all these carriers. Now I could use a US one and try to hit one of those carriers that hasn't launched its planes yet. Oh, look at that. Ask and ye shall receive. You've got 1 6 in that roll. And that 6 belongs to the Yorktown. Awesome. So, Yorktown will be the 3rd carrier to activate. And I will go ahead here and get ready to launch a strike. Now, let's see. Let's see. Let's go after the Akagi and the Kaga in their space there. I can launch 3 planes, so I'll send up a Wildcat, and I'm going to send up 2 Dauntless Dive Bombers. I'm going to hold off on my torpedo planes, only if I absolutely have to do it, because it's just, yeah. Okay, alright. So, I got my planes launched. Awesome, now we get to count how far away. They're not very far from us. They're only 1, 2, 3. So with that, of course, because of the short range of these planes, it's going to be maybe a problem. 1 gas can, 2 gas can, 4 gas cans. Come on! They're all smoking? What the woody what? Obviously we had some trouble tracking them down. Alright. At least they're found now. Look at the bright side. Alright. The Japanese only get to roll 1 die for spotting. They rolled a 6, so they didn't see us, which is good news for us. Okay, they do have the 1 smoking 0, so that 0 will come up to battle my smoking Wildcat. So Smoker's Wild. That's for all you Avalon Hill fans out there. Okay, let's see. Since I'm smoking, I need to find a decent card. Something good. Let's do this. Let's do a diving crossfire on the buggers. Let's see if they're going to get a card or not. And, yep, 0. There's a card. And their card, bam, is also an extra die. Alright, here we go. So a couple of tired pilots. The 0 gets 2 dice because I have the cancel symbol on the 1 card. 4 is their best. Okay. Alright, we get 2 dice. Come on, baby. Yes! Got a 6. Only got 1 bullet, though. Needs to be like a silver bullet. I don't know if it was yet or not. I haven't looked at it while I'm cleaning this up. I rolled a 3. Bam! That's the end of the 0. Okay, good deal. So down goes the 0. And the Wildcat will get to limp its way home, hopefully. Hopefully it won't run out of fuel. It is amazing, though, the books I've been reading recently. I'm reading Simon's book about Midway right now, and I just finished Isom's book, Midway Inquest. It's amazing how many planes in the battles, especially early on, just got either shot up so bad or ran out of fuel and had to ditch. You know, how many planes were lost just from that. It's remarkable. So, I've got 2 planes made it through. I probably should go after each carrier. So I'll put the Dauntless with the lighter bombs on the Kaga. We'll send the ones with the bigger amount of bombs on the Akagi. And I'll see if I can help that lighter Dauntless. Oh, let's see. These guys have the 4. We'll start with them. I want to make sure we get a hit if we can. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to play this best shot card. It gives me 3 extra dice against the Japanese carrier, Akagi. Oh, and the Akagi doesn't have a card available. Alright. Alright, here we go. Here comes the Akagi. With dice test, they got 2 dice. Oh, they got a 4. That's their best. Okay. I've got 4 dice. Whew, that was a little nerve-wracking. 2 2s, a 3, and... Don't you love suspense? A 5. Alright. So, we won the dice test. Now time for damage. We'll get to drop 5 bombs there, and I get to pick the card. Bombs away, boys. Provided our windshield doesn't fog up on the way down. Let's see, I got a 4, 5, and 6, and a 4, 5, and 6, so it doesn't really matter. So, I guess 4, 5, and 6 it is. Alright, 3 and a 2 is no good to me, but I got 2 5s and a 4, which is a good news, bad news. Lots of fire, but no critical hits, unfortunately. So we get 1 Inferno and 1 fire on the Akagi. Alright. Well, that's a good step in the right direction. And Akagi, of course, has not lost any planes yet. So hopefully they'll have to spend their time repairing. Alright, my other Dauntless here. Let's see what kind of thing. I want to give them some extra bombs. So let me see if I can find one that's got at least a extra bomb. Let's play Lucky Timing. See if that'll help. Japanese defense card. Survey says yes this time. Okay. So the Japanese carrier Kaga. Ah, shoot, we canceled each other out. We both have the crosshair symbol. So both cards get canceled. Nobody gets any help this time. Alright, so the Kaga's got 2 dice. Shoot, I only got a die. Oh, they rolled 2 5s. The only thing I can do is hope for a 6. Alright, here we go. Baby needs a brand new pair of shoes. Oh, it's a 2. Baby's going barefoot. Alright, they only got 1 bullet. So, 1 or 2, and I can still try to drop those 2 bombs. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 2! Woo-hoo! Alright, the only problem is the Kaga gets to pick. Let's see, if I'm a Kaga, should I pick the 4, 5, or 6 or the 3, 4, 5, or 6? Gee, I don't know. Alright, here we go. Come on, give me some box cars. Come on, box car, where are you when I need you? Nowhere to be found. Well, again, the good news is I managed to get a 5 and a 4. So that actually will turn into one Inferno marker. But again, no critical hits, so I haven't damaged the bulkheads. The bulkheads of both of these carriers haven't budged. And of course, Lady Lex's bulkhead has already taken some hits. Crackers. Worst part is we still got to fly home. Alright, hold on to your butts. Here we go. The good news is we don't have too far to go. Alright, no caps to worry about. Nobody has any... Oh, I take that back. Nope, the Soryu did put a plane up. So the Soryu plane will get flipped over to its smoking side. Alright, we're only 2 spaces away. So here we go. Wildcat, good growl. Good. Got a 5. Big Dauntless, got a 6. Little Dauntless, got a 2. Okay. So I lost the smaller Dauntless squadron. Had ditched too many planes. It's amazing how many of these poor guys were never heard from again either. That's another thing that reading these stories recently kind of brought back. You know, just how many guys just like they radioed and ditched their plane and then they were never heard from again. Or that life raft from the Oiler, the Nisho, I think is how it's pronounced, at the Coral Sea. A bunch of guys abandoned ship in 4 different life rafts, and they found some of them. Well, one of the life rafts they found was completely empty except for 2 life jackets. And there was like 28 guys on there when the life rafts were dispensed from the ship. So, I mean, that's just kind of creepy. That would have to be really creepy to come across that and just be like, no, there's a life raft. There ain't nobody here, but there's 2 life jackets. Gives me shivers just thinking about it. Okay, Admiral phase. Well, let's see. For me, I don't have to repair anything. Let's see, I can only have 7 cards in my hand. So I think what I'm going to do is I can discard, though. I'm going to get rid of some of these fighter cards because I need some more defense and I need some more attack cards. So I got 3 there. I'll keep this one. 4. Alright, I'm going to draw 3 new ones. That's not much. And there were 3 attack cards. Okay, well if I can get the Lexington, if I can get Lady Lex fired up. Of course the Japanese, the first thing they'll do is work on fixing their carriers. And since Kaga has not launched yet, might as well use the 3 points to go from Inferno to Fire and Fire to nothing. That's logical. Alright. Activation number 4. Okay, high roll this time. There's only 1. The high roll this time goes to the Hiryu. So the Hiryu will have the chance to launch some planes. Alright. Now, notice as we're getting higher here, now the Hiryu would actually be able to launch 4 planes. So that's going to make a bit of a difference. That's going to allow them to maybe really go for a heavy blow. And of course the Japanese with their torpedoes, that was a big deal. That was a big advantage for them. So I'm thinking I'll probably do 1 0, 1 Val, and 2 Kates, and see if I can get something to hit home, as it were, for that. So that puts us halfway through this opening turn too, as well. So, well, so far this has definitely been different. There's no question about that one at all. But so far it's interesting. Not too many carries have taken too much damage, but again, I mean, if you look at the statistics and the hits and such, there just wasn't that many hits that were scored, especially early on. You know, even the number of hits scored on each carrier at Midway, there wasn't that many hits. It just happened to be perfect timing. It was just a perfect storm, so to speak, for the American Dauntless dive bombers. So, alright, let's do the Hiryu here, and then I might go ahead and call it a day on the anniversary show here. Maybe we'll come back afterwards and talk about everything that happened. But of course, I know this is kind of, you know, big, ambitious to be doing all 6 of these against just the 2. And of course, there's no way to know what would have really happened, but yeah. All right, here we go. So the Kido will launch 1-0, 2 Kates, and a Val. All right, that's 4 planes. And they're going, actually they've got quite a distance to travel, even though we've been fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're actually going to have 4 cards. So there is a chance they might have some trouble. Let's see. 2 gas cans. That's a good start. 3 gas cans. Come on, baby. 4 gas cans. 6 gas cans. Well, 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 to quote James Brown. All these are now smoking. It took them a while to find us. The bad news is I don't have a cap up. Maybe I should have gotten a cap instead of drawing new cards. But let's see if we can get a good spotting roll here. There's 4 of them, so hopefully we'll be able to spot them. Yeah, we got a 4 and a 2, so we easily spotted them. So that's the good news. So I'll go ahead and send up a Wildcat to deal with the 0. And then after that, we'll go ahead and do these attacks and see if we can weather some of this. I may not play a card either. I may hold off because I don't have too many defensive cards left, to be completely honest about it all. I got like 2 in my hand out of 7. That's not good. I don't have too many fighter ones right now either, but hey, you know. Alright, so I'll play the 1 fighter card I have. I don't have anything more than that because I started the game confident because I found them. So I only get 7. Dang, they rolled a 1 again. Alright. Well, here we go. 2 dice for them. 4 and a 1. And 3 dice. For the Wildcat, it's a 6. Awesome. 2 bullets. 3 and a 5. Bye-bye birdie. So that's it. The 0 is gone. And the Wildcat will go back down on the cap here. Okay. Not too bad. Let's find out where these guys are going to go. Got a Val and 2 Kates. The Val's going for the Yorktown. Okay. And then the 2 Kates, one is going after the Yorktown, the other one's going after the Lexington. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of a gamble here, because again, I don't have too many cards, and I'd rather save them for, because I don't think I have any draws right now, do I? No, I don't have any draws right now. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a bit of a gamble here against this Kate, and not use a card. Whoa, the Kate's not using the card either. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't think I've had that many 1s rolled in a long time. I'm getting extremely lucky. Alright, here comes the Kate. Kind of limping its way in. Ooh. It limped with a vengeance. I got a 6. Sugar. Alright, I need boxcars. Because if I roll a 6, when it comes to carrier attacks, the attacking planes always win the ties. I got a 4 and a 1. Bugger, bugger, bugger. Alright, they get to pick the card too. The good news is they only have a single fish. So here we go. Just in the water. Their 2 cards are the same, so they'll choose this one. It's got a 1-2. It's a 3. Whoo! Lady Lex, despite being big, ponderous, and a little slow, she barely managed to swing away from that torpedo attack. Whew. Alright, over here to the Yorktown. Alright. The Yorktown, I'm actually going to play a card, because this Val does have 2 bombs on it. I'm going to go ahead and play this Barrage Fire. Let's see what the Val is going to use. The Val is going to use a card, so here they come. Ah, shoot. They both have the crosshairs, so they canceled each other out. Bugger. Alright, that's a bummer, man. Okay, here we go. The Val's got 1 die. And rolled a 3. Yorktown's got 2. Whew, that was lucky. That sucker was spinning. I rolled a 4. We got 2 bullets. 4 and a 1. Bam. There we go. Okay, now here comes the Kate. I'm not going to use a card on the Kate because the Kate's only got 1 fish. Well, may have more here in a second, of course. I know I'm running a bit of a risk with that. Let's see what they get for their attack card. Ooh, well, you know what? They didn't, but boy, they got 3 extra dice for the test. Sugar. Good chance they'll get through now. Alright, as the card says, bonsai. Single 5, single 5, so there's still a chance here. Alright. Yorktown's got 2. Oh, only got a single 5, so they did get through. So they will get to choose the damage card. 1, 2, and 1. Obviously, they'll do the 1, 2. They only have a single fish, though. So they are kind of beat up. They are depleted. It's a 3. Whew! Once again, barely missed. Just managed to swing that carrier around. But, hey, that was a good defensive sequence. We shot down 2 of the enemy attack units, and there's 2 limping home. And we had no damage to either carrier. That's another thing that, you know, as I've been working on this and working on that design of mine that I shared with you guys last month, it is amazing how most of the carrier battles were broken off, not because carriers are sunk, or, well, basically sunk, or even horribly damaged. A lot of it was just the lack of planes eventually. Especially the Japanese, they didn't have the planes to put in the air. And of course, eventually, they didn't have the pilots as they got depleted. So, alright, I gotta land this Wildcat because it is smoking. Oh no, it is full, so I gotta flip it to smoking. And now I have these 2 Kates that are gonna try and head home 3 spaces away. First Kate, got a 4. Tell you what, the Japanese have been lucky getting home, I'll say that much. And a 6. Look at that. I should keep my mouth shut. Alright, so 0 lost, Val lost, but the 2 Kates limp their way home. Alright, Japanese Admiral phase, obviously they'll work on fixing the Akagi. So 2 points, Furno down to fire, and fire is the 3rd point. Alright, for me, let's see, should I draw a card? Should I put up a cap? I've got 2, 4, 5 cards in my hand. I could draw up 2 more, but you know what? I think I'm okay right now. I am going to actually, but if the Lexington, that's true, if the Lexington wins the initiative roll here, if I put that on cap, okay, you know what? Yeah, shoot, I should have used that before. Well, then it would have been the same dilemma, I guess. Alright, so I'll just draw 2 cards up. Let's see what 2 cards I get here off the deck. Good, I got another defensive card, and I got a nice... I really like these cards that have the draw 2 extra cards business, because then you can draw above your hand. So that's nice. Okay. Alright, well, I've been at this for a while now. As you can see, interestingly enough... Oh, I forgot to land... forgot to scan everybody. I forgot to land the 0 there from the Soryu. Alright, well, I'll tell you what. I'm not actually going to do it, but I will tell you who won the initiative. The 5th activation goes to... Whoops. A little bit of a break again. The 5th activation is actually going to go to the Akagi, which is on fire. So they won't really be able to do... Well, no, that's not true. They have battle stations. They have 2... They can launch, and they have 2 repair points. So they could put out the fire, and then they could launch. So that's true. They could go ahead and do that. Alright, I think that's legal. You know, I'll have to double check the rulebook, because that doesn't pop up very often. Not as often as you might think. Alright, so there you go. A very interesting contest so far. Nobody really getting the upper hand here yet. So again, it may come down to who ends up with depleted pilots first, which of course that's not good for the Lexington and the Yorktown, although so far they're doing okay. The Japanese have lost 5 playing cards to 2, so if we can keep that up, we, well, we have a chance. That's what it is. We have a chance. All right. Well, it's been a fun 3 years so far. I've enjoyed sharing all these games with you. Again, as I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, there's a lot of games coming out later this year that I'm looking forward to. Somewhere not too far down the road, once I shoot my bolt in the Pacific Theater, which so far is still going very strong. Eventually, I do plan on games that I have, but I haven't actually done a playthrough for. I do intend at some point to do a solo play. Might do this at different turns too, because of course this will be a bit of a longer game. But do solo play with Black Swan, which came out late last year for Vento Nuovo Games. And of course, I know I've been derelict on the Munich War, which I've talked about doing for a while now, but I just have not gotten around to it for a variety of reasons. And there's some other ones too here. As I'm looking at my shelf, I'm also thinking about Conquistadors in Magnificent Style, which came out, reprint came out recently. I've enjoyed that. That's a good, fun, light game. Look at my shelves here, looking at other games I haven't done videos for yet. Not too many, to be honest. So, or some that you're kind of on the back burner right now in terms of doing an episode. So we'll like Paratrooper from World at War 72, which actually is Pacific Theater, Japanese paratrooper operation they did in the Dutch East Indies, is in there, among other things. So okay, well, hopefully you enjoyed this little battle here with the Kido Butai. I know I have to kind of cut it short, but otherwise this would go on for quite a while if I didn't. But it's interesting because you would think, being outnumbered 6-2, outnumbered 3-1, you'd get clobbered. But so far, Yorktown and Lady Lex are holding their own. And of course, we'll see, will the Enterprise show up in time? Probably not. But again, we'll have, part of this is going to be the attrition factor. Who's going to have planes left towards the end that they're going to be able to still be able to make the carriers of value, because a carrier with no planes is a cruise liner, a luxury liner. I mean, there's lots of people on board. Nice flat deck, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't really thought about it before. Okay, well, again, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I do appreciate all of that, all the views over the last 3 years. Again, if you have requests, if you'd like to look at my collection, I'm Board Game Geek. If there's a game that I haven't done that you would like to see done, give me a holler, and I will try to do that for you. I've had a few requests over the 3 years, people wanting to see certain games, so that's always an option that's on the table. So, okay, well, as always, this is Tim Korchner from Bare Bones Wargaming, saying I hope the Lady Lex and the Yorktown can survive the Kido Butai. Only time will tell, and I will give you a follow-up to let you know what happened here in the end. But I can tell you this much right now: I'm going to be hiding in those clouds as long as I can, because I just can't afford to, I just cannot afford not to. I guess that's the best way to put it. Gonna need a little luck here. Okay, gonna need a lot of luck. So we'll see what happens. But as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And here's to another, hopefully, 3 years of Bare Bones Wargaming. See you next time.